Great peeps. So I forgot that I was meant to be recording this, and I've done a lot since we last spoke. It took a long time. I was sitting here for a long time waiting for something to happen because, as you know, I've been surrounded by either the French, who would curb stomp me without a second glance by themselves, or and the Holy Roman Empire on the right hand side on the east. So it really was a waiting game. I was waiting, trying to get my economy happening a bit more smoothly. Yeah, just doing a whole bunch of stuff just to try to get things happening a bit better. And I think I've worked out what the situation is. This is the first game that I've played on hard, so I think that's why things are acting strangely to me, or seem to be acting strangely to me. Why I don't seem to be able to get the economy right. I am forever losing money regardless of what I do, even when I'm constantly bilking money from my my junior union partners. I think that's what it is. I'm pretty sure that's what the issue is. So I am, but after a while, the English decided to reconquest the north of France. I waited until an opportune moment, and then decided to declare myself on France, and I managed to bring Austria in. Them being rivals of France, it's a little bit easier to bring them into wars. So it happened. We jumped in. Things started looking really dicey for a while there, with again the junior union vassals, junior union partners, doing those stupid attacks on Patois, while the giant French army would just wander up, crush them, and wander away. That happened 3 or 4 times. We got caught in one really bad battle that just almost destroyed our entire army. What did happen during the war, though, is and I probably should have shown this because it has changed things quite markedly, we managed to hit Tech 7, which Tech 7, if I have here, military Tech 7 allows for the very exciting large cast bronze mortars. We're well ahead of time on that, and that's allowed us to do some better sieging. It's nowhere near the kind of bonus that you'd expect to get if you play on normal. With normal, and it's the sieging, it's the amount of artillery required that's put me onto it, because on normal, if you have 5 cannons, you're getting a +5 bonus against tier 2 forts like these are. This can't be on normal, this must be on hard, because you need double the amount of artillery to do the damage that I would expect to. And yeah, so it's a lot harder. I've got 3 artillery on the go at the moment, but I've maxed out my army now at 21, and I'm hemorrhaging money, and I don't really know what to do about it. In fact, I've got a feeling that I can turn that right down while I'm sieging. Let's see how that plays out. Yeah, that's right. I can. Alright, so that'll help us maybe survive till this siege is complete, if we're lucky. And I'm continuously consolidating these regiments. That means you're paying less, you're refitting fewer units at one time, which means you're paying less reinforcement fees. So, oh, well, actually, that's not really a problem because we've got no men left anyway. I am tempted to waste 50 ducats there to get a reprieve from. I just really want to avoid taking a loan that will cost a lot to repay, a lot more than I'll be earning anytime soon. But I'm going to make this. I'm going to get every ounce of money I can out of France. Is the plan. Would be nice to help with that siege. So I'm going to look to get every ounce of money I can out of France before. Oh, sorry. Okay, so the way that the war worked is Britain came in. They had some good early wins, but then very much got pushed out by the combination of France, Genoa, and who's the other one? And Provence. That's turned around now. We've managed to. Actually, I can take Genoa out of the war now, I'd say. We're not going to go any further on them, so I will recall my spy from there. Genoa do have other provinces. Genoa have their main provinces there, but they also have a holding over here and a holding in Cyprus. No, they don't have Cyprus, but they've got those two over there. I don't want anything more from them than money. I can't make them a vassal. Don't want to transfer power. I just want their money. 88 money, my god, that's not much. So whose money, whose trade power do I want them to transfer to me? I could get some prestige from having them release Corsica, but I think I need the money more than anything. So I don't want Cypriot, East Frisian trade, Württembergian, Lucan, Württemberg, where are they? They're one of those ones around here. Okay. Sorry. So we haven't seen a I haven't done this slowly and explained this. This is what happens when you win a war. You get to demand tribute of them. Often I'll use the seed provinces option. None of these are within range, so I'm not too fussed about that, and I won't be bothering with that. Revoke cause. I could have them revoke the core. Says that this province that the Ottomans hold at present, they will revoke their core on it, meaning that they're less likely to want it back, meaning that they won't go to war for it, or they'll have to do some work to try to go to war for it. I don't care about an Ottoman core. I would much rather get stuff from them myself. We can also demand that they return core countries to other people. We can choose that, and they'd have to return that province to Caucasia, or we could do the same to make them return it to Crimea, or we could make them return Kaffa to Trebizond, but none of those interest me either. I don't have a vested interest there. I could have them return Corsica to release Corsica as an independent nation, but I don't want to. That will actually cost me diplomatic points. This is the point. A lot of these options will require us spending Diplo points to make things happen. Because they're not part of the war goal, they're seen as something extra, so we have to do some diplomatic finagling to make that happen. We can also ask them to annul treaties and to end rivalries with different countries. That's not particularly useful to me. It is a nice way to grab some nice cheap, some good cheap prestige, which I would do, but I've got more important concerns in that I need money and I need it badly. So I'm going to get all of their cash that I can. That's going to cost 7 war score. I've got 95 I can spend. I'm going to get them to pay war reparations, so they'll pay 10% of their income for the next 10 years. And I'm going to get them to transfer some trade power to me, and I've got to decide between East Frisia, which is that one, Württembergian, maybe Württemberg's one of these guys. There we go. It's that guy. I don't imagine he has a great deal of trade power, but he is kind of close to me. Yeah, okay, that'll be the guy. He'll transfer his power in Rhineland to me, and yeah, Luca's the other one. No, that's not worth it. Württembergian is the best option, and can we get I'm only doing this to try to get some more prestige points, so I'll get them to give up their claims in Crimea. That's fine. So that takes us up to 97. There's nothing else we can get here. Usually when I'm not playing on hard, I'll empty the money out, because money isn't so hard to come by in normal, it seems. I'll empty the money out, reduce that to the minimum by holding down shift and pressing left mouse button to put it to minimum, and then do other things, and then just fill the war score up with gold. But there's so little gold, they have so little gold, that it isn't a very good option here. So we'll do this instead. We need the gold more than we need anything, and we have some cash. Hurrah! We'll be able to survive the war without needing to take out a loan. What? Württemberg will no longer transfer? Why not? Those dirty rats. Why does that just cancel? Oh my goddamn trade, buddy. Württemberg. I could declare war on him, but then I'd actually bring those guys in. That really sucks. I don't know what happened there. That's not cool. That trade power would have been useful to me. But hey ho, let's continue on. There's no one else we can separate peace out, because Provence is a vassal of France, so we have to just do the one peace treaty with France. What is this one? The first time you brush it off, but when it happens the second and third time you begin to wonder. Okay. It appears that my heir has been running about town in a most unchristian fashion, and that your family is now becoming the laughingstock of Europe. Okay. I can scold him publicly, or he can lose 10 strength off his claim. I think I'll go with that. I don't want to lose my prestige at the moment. 20 prestige is a big hit that I don't feel like taking. That will change his legitimacy to... Oh, he's strong anyway. He'll have better legitimacy than the current guy does. I've taken some hits in legitimacy to offset other things that I've had to do. Often it's a trade-off between a decision between prestige and legitimacy, and given that they're so bloody hard to come by on this level, I'm running with the prestige because it gives us several bonuses, whereas legitimacy, not so much. I guess the Diplo rep's helpful, and the vassal income is helpful, but yeah, that's okay. How's the siege going? It's paused. We've got a free diplomat who's not doing anything. Do we have that option to make them trade? No, we don't. Okay. So one thing we should do is issue embargoes. That's interesting. So even though we've set England as a rival, they haven't set us as a rival. So that's odd to me. Usually as soon as you set someone to a rival, they'll set you, but I guess they've got plenty of people rivaling them. They've got their pick of the bunch. They're even rival against Scotland. Wow, that's different. Oh, that England is about to get real strong. Once England takes over Scotland, they can form the United Kingdom. They may need to wait for a couple of tech levels, but if they do that, they're going to be as much of a threat as France have been until now to us. So I don't know why our war score is this low. You'd expect it should be a bit higher. We've taken Paris. We've got a ticking war score, so that will help things along. But yeah, I expect it to be hang on. What's going on? We want those. And I want that. I can't even get that. Oh, because I haven't taken it yet. And then I want all of the cash. Oh wow, that's actually a perfect little setup. Once we take that last 100 and 100, I think we'll be able to do something around there. We need to take this fort and then that fort, and I think we'll be able to get what we want from them. I'm interested to see what Spain have declared war for. Okay, so they're conquering Lambourg. They only want that. We want a lot more than that. Don't know what's happened to the tunes. There we go. I bumped the volume control down. Siege of Barwa is over. Cool. We'll send him down there to help him finish off that siege. What's our war score now? Our war score is 69. And I don't know that we're going to get that. I'd really like that that agreement, but I don't think it'll land. I don't think we'll end up with enough war score even once we take this last castle, this last fort. Please go. Tick over, tick over, tick over. Boom. Hurrah. Alright, so this is the maximum war score we can get without waiting around for a long time for the war score to tick up. If we try this now, so we're not too far off. At what we've got positive of 143, they've got negative of 153. We're pretty close to being able to get that war score. So we're taking. We had a claim on Berry. Oh, that's right. I'd forgotten to put a claim on Vermandois, which was a bit silly of me, because that would have been That's one of the ones I definitely want. It's because it's already part of my grouping up there. That's okay. It'll cost us an extra 10%. Extra 10% of the coring cost. But what we'll do is we can let this sit for a while. We've got their war exhaustion is massive. Ours is quite high, but not awful. So we can let them wait for a while. We've got all the time in the world. Oops. And now leaning on the volume control and then leaning on the volume control, turning the volume way up. Good times. We'll center those guys. Okay, our maximum army is 21, so we've got some healing, not healing, some recouping to do. They are all grouped as far as they can be, yes. Let's have a look here. How are you feeling about things now, Mr. France? There we go, cool. Okay, so he's going to do that. Oh god, we're going to take some serious aggressive expansion if we do that. That's probably too much. We probably are asking for too much there. Even at 81, we're really pushing things. They'll fire a coalition when France will fire a coalition when they come out of peace, and that will cause us all sorts of trouble. We're going to get them to return. No, we don't want them to return cores. I desperately want those three. Why is that so high? Alright, so let's have a look through this. This is the actual information inside the that's shown in the summary. We're making peace on behalf of our entire alliance. We want Burgundy, and we want Paris. We want Paris and Vermandois. We don't necessarily need Cow. This is a more this is more reasonable, and they're the ones that we need. We don't need any of these other ones. So we can go for those two. We can't make them cancel that. Oh, we could if we lost money, but I really want that money. That money and those war reparations are super important to us. What I do want them to do is revoke. Oh, what? Haven't they got cores where? I'd like them to revoke the cores that they've got on us. I'd like them to revoke that core, that core, that core, that core, that core. You know, I'd just like them to revoke cores that matter to me. I don't give any flying stuff about England revoking England's cause. Who gives a toss? Oh, there we go. So that's what we'll do. That way we group revoke all of our cores. They'll forget all about all of that lot, and I don't think it counts for the ones that we claim now, but it will certainly go a long way to preventing them going wild at us up there. Return cores we don't care about, cancel subjects we don't care about, release nations, that'd be nice, but we've got other concerns. I'm going to pop that down, so I've still got 10 left. What can I make them do? I can make them release Alverne. That's pretty cool. I can make them annul treaties. No, I can't. They haven't got any treaties to annul. Shall I make them release Alverne? It cost me 22 Diplo, but that's not a bad idea. I get some prestige from it. I don't think I get... There we go. That's probably more useful to me. That's someone right next to me that I'll be able to vassalize and bring them into the fold. Not that I have any free Diplo spots to do that. In fact, I don't think I have this entire bloody game. Oh, this is the only moment where I don't have, where I'm not over the top of my Diplo. Savoy, I have a marriage and an alliance with. What would the... Oh, no, they might not be a good option. Bourbonnais. There's actually lots of countries we can force them to release. I didn't realise how many little states were in here, little nations were in here. I like that. I think maybe we can be buddies with the Bourbonnais. Although, we could force them to release Bar. And that would probably be better still. How much would it cost to release Bar? Oh, that's the wrong thing. Release nations. Bar. Bar would cost 20. I really need to stop leaning on that damn volume control. There we go. Bar would be an interesting option. No, because that would get released into the Holy Roman Empire, and because they're within the Holy Roman Empire, they wouldn't then allow us to vassalize them. So this is a fine option. We'll get them to release Bourbon, and we'll have a 100% peace deal. So let's have a look through what all of this means. We are negotiating on behalf of our entire alliance. They are negotiating for theirs. France will cede Paris and Vermandois to Burgundy. France and its subjects will give up all claims in Burgundy. You beauty. France will be forced to pay Burgundy 10% of their income each month to pay for war reparations. This will last for 10 years. I like that. I don't imagine that will be a great deal. Although they do have plenty of money, I don't think their tax income will be great because of all of the carnage they have going on, paying down their corruption costs that I've managed to get a second one on, get a second set of corruption in on them, which is just super dupes. What else will they do? They will release Bourbonnais as a sovereign state. They will pay us 310 ducats to us and our allies. Actually, so we get 219 of that amount because we did 2/3 of the heavy lifting, but the other guys get some cash as well. I find that unfair, to be honest. I think I would have expected Austria did far more than I did in that war. No, I did a lot of sieging. I suppose that's quite important. So I'm going to get a bit of an inflation hit from that. We'll have to pay 56 Diplo points to pay for this treaty, but and we'll get aggressive impact, 32 points of aggressive impact. So what we'll need to do after this is we'll need to try to make nice, happy, friendly friends with Lorraine and Liège. Actually, I just want to check something. I still have a... Before I... Okay, I cannot declare war on a member of the Empire if I'm allied with the Emperor in a war. Damn it! I thought that was the perfect plan. Because I do have a mission to conquer those fools, but I can't do it if I'm having to fight the Austrians. Anyways, let's go back here. So we're going to get aggressive expansion, relationship penalties. That will cause us. It'll be harder for us to improve some countries' opinion of us. It will. There's a bunch of things that that aggressive expansion does, including cause coalitions to form. Those, I think I mentioned coalitions earlier. Basically, if someone expands too much around you, you get an aggressive. You get concerned by their aggressive expansion, and then you'll group together to fight them. In this case, France, Liège, and Lorraine would do it, but they're not. But at -63, -55, and -55, those odds aren't insurmountable. We'll take this peace deal, and we will work to improve their opinions of us, and that will remove the chance that they will form a coalition against us. Also, I think you may need 3 or 4, but I'm going to be at peace with France for a long time, and you can't join a coalition if you're at peace. So we get 18 prestige from this deal. A total of 18.5 is handed out. We get 13 of that, and France takes a negative 18.5 prestige hit because we're fighting one of our rivals. Both Austria and I will get 11 power projection. France will lose 23, and we'll need to pay 56 Diplo points to make this happen. Then once this occurs, this peace deal is going to last until the turn of the century. So that's a 15-year peace deal. Sounds good to me. I've got plenty of stuff I could be doing rather than fighting France. Let's accept that deal. Send that deal. And France, accept it. Accept our very generous offer. And I have to admit, it was super generous. So we can see that they've given up all the. We saw all the details of what's happened before. 32 aggressive impact, aggressive expansion is quite high, but I think we'll be okay. So let's have a look at our new guy who got released. They like me. You'll be surprised by that, given that we had them released. They desire some of my stuff. Dude, come on. That's not how this works. I just released you. You don't get to make little demandies. Your focus should be on taking those things, not on me. That's messed up. Why would they desire my provinces? I mean, fair enough, they're next to you, but that's kind of weird. We can't vassalize him. Wow. Okay. Usually, if you release a one province minor, you can quite often. Wow. Okay. So there's a really awful equation that goes. By awful, I mean hard for me to understand because I don't understand maths. There's a confusing equation that divides the amount of trade power that you have by does some multipliers with it, and then divides their their economic base. No, it's something to do with total development. God, I can't remember, but it's a stupid thing. It's the way that it needs to be is a straight a straight comparison of your development. If I've got 10 times, 20 times, whatever it is, more development than this guy, he should be rolling over and saying, yeah, buddy, vassalize me, please. As it stands, he's not. He's wanting my stuff, and when I offer to vassalize him, or were I to offer to vassalize him, and go through all the rigmarole of creating an alliance, improving his opinion up to 190, likely having a royal marriage, likely allowing military access, to get him up to 190, and then once I got there, he would say, "Oh, actually, your economic base isn't good enough." It's like, bro, that's not really how it works. There's no situation in real life where that could ever occur. But that's the way it's built. Whatever. Has that changed now? Nope. I thought it might change. It didn't. That's weird. So I'm gonna... Oh, he's already feeling threatened, so that should bump his... Yeah, so that gives the plus 10 bonus to his likelihood of joining me. I don't care. I can do this later. So that was all I really wanted to show you. Actually, let's just do the quick coring. Oh god. Holy shitangles. Wow. Lucky we had claims, dude. Oh, we didn't have a claim there. Christ. That's why that one's so expensive as well. Shivers. Nope. Oh god. Did I just saw that? They're one turn away from having a rebellion. And that is the last thing we would want right now. Wow. That is... I've never randomed in that close before. That is super lucky. Right. Okay. We need to drastically reduce your influence. Hang on. That's the clergy I need to reduce. So them, they are going to lose that. That will take them down to 80.7, not enough. That will take them down to 78, just enough. They are not going to be happy, and their amount of land is far too small for them. But hey, if they're going to start trying to take over my country, can't have that. Right, so war reparations are 87 cents. I find it hard to believe that France only gets, I guess they're still half covered by our Spanish buddies. Oh yeah, sorry, so when we were fighting the French at the beginning and the English were fighting them still, the English then decided to bounce out. I'm guessing they white peaced because their peace deal isn't very long. Yeah, 84. It's almost over already. In fact, once that ends, I can almost guarantee that England's going to come running back in and try to get this land again, and that'd be cool because I wouldn't mind fighting England for some land. That would be easier than France has been so far, to be honest. England are, as I mentioned, a much more naval power, so they get France get advantages that England don't, and I would much rather see that than constantly getting kicked around by the French team. Let's have a look here. Yeah, okay, so they're not paying that down at all, which is good for us. It means they're less likely to use their super lucky... so there's lucky nations in the game that get bonuses. And if we can hamstring France with that much corruption, hopefully it'll offset their lucky dice rolls, for lack of a better term, that allow them to keep and to have and maintain that power over me. I've got condottieri under. Oh, they're there. Okay, they'll cancel soon enough. We've got. Where was it? Yuck. We've almost got 6 war exhaustion, so we need to get rid of that quick. I can't believe how close that was. Hell, man. I've never, genuinely never. You can't get any closer than that, and I've never come that close. Usually, I just forget about those ones and have a giant rebellion on my hands. French separatists. That's strange because I did think I had made them. They haven't rejected their cause on the 2 that I just took. Hang on. They were meant to revoke that core. That sucks, dude. I made them revoke that core for a reason. I don't want to be fighting French separatists. Ah well, at least we've got a nice complementing fort formation now, which is more than we've had previously. They won't be able to. They likely will actually. If they go there, then they can take that and that. Yeah, and then they go there and take that, and then for whatever reason just walk there. Alright, it's not quite the Iron Curtain that I was hoping for, but that'll be fine. So I think we'll wrap this one up here. There's I've got a lot of repair to do to get this nation back on the track after a very long war and losing some fights quite badly. So I'll cut this one off here, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much for joining us.